I'm Mindy Arbuckle, and today we're going to be playing with a posture called Agni Stambhasana, or Firelog pose. This is a pose that is amazing for the hips, and I can tell you that it's some people's favorite pose, and really some people detest it. It's like one of those postures that you either love or hate. So whether you love this or hate it, it is definitely something to be worked with and on so that we can really discover a new aspect of our hips and a different aspect of who we are and our emotional reality, because the hips do hold a lot of our unwanted or unknown emotions. Beginning this posture, we're going to start with one leg extending out straight and then allowing the left leg just to cross above the knee, bony part of the ankle just outside the thigh. So that's going to help keep this knee safe and the ankle neutral. We start with beautiful tall spine length with the inhale. And as we exhale, we gently forward fold, hinging from our hips, keeping our bats long and extended. Breathing here, working on allowing this knee to relax down toward the floor. Oftentimes it looks about like this for some of us, but we work on relaxing it down no matter where it is. And then we feel amazing length through our hamstrings and our calves, even down into the sole of the foot perhaps. Now we can stay here. If we want to play around, we can actually take this into another pose called Cradle the Baby, where we keep this foot flexed. We lift through the thigh, through the leg, and we pull that up toward the chest, keeping our shoulders back, collarbones broad. Pull that foot in, rocking side to side. Feels really nice. Oh, we should be feeling really great stretches out through this thigh here. You can also pull that foot in. Feeling a slightly different sensation. And then this is a nice maneuver into our full Firelog pose. So if full Firelog for whatever reason doesn't feel good, we can always just play with our Cradle the Baby or that half Firelog. Now for full Firelog, we take the top leg, put it back essentially where we started it for half, bony part of the ankle outside the thigh, and then this right leg bent in and came in underneath of the knee. Oftentimes we'll want to tuck it up underneath the hip like an easy pose, but we want to actually keep it out under the knee as much as possible. Back closer is a little softer on the body, so if we are tight in this, that's an okay position, but eventually we work it out so that our shins are stacking. See if we can relax into this pose, breathing into it. Now we can stay tall. We can give some support with our hands on the floor or a blanket. We can add forward fold. Some people really adore this posture and can literally fold themselves in half like an accordion. But today, wherever we are, we just enjoy it. Breathing into it. So there's our Firelog pose. Noticing what's on fire. Is it our hips? Which hip do we feel the most? Generally speaking, we should feel the top hip a little bit more than this lower hip. And we just allow ourselves to relax, to let the inner thighs soften and melt downward toward the floor, and to breathe into this pose. And then we're going to gently release this side. Meet back in our staff pose, extending those legs out, maybe give them a little bit of a shake. And let's switch sides. Let's go ahead and practice this on the second side. So our right foot's going to come up over our knees. Left leg straight out, foot flex, toes straight up. We sit tall, breathing in. And as we breathe out, we come forward, flat backs, maybe a little bit of support. We can hold on out wherever it feels good for us. And really just noticing the similarities as well as the differences of this side compared to the first side. Now I'm working with an injury that I've just recently partaken on my right side. So this side is feeling a little bit tighter than the first side. That's okay. Those are just things to notice, and to get to know ourselves better, we need to know those differences and work with them. All right, so from our half Firelog, again, stay there if that feels great. We can come into our Cradle the Baby, shoulders rolling back, spine is so tall and lifted. And we breathe that leg in and up. If we want to go a little bit farther, foot goes up into the bicep. Oh, and feeling how delicious that stretch is. Oh my goodness, it is so big on me today. Now, rocking side to side can sometimes feel good. Even tucking that foot in, more like an easy pose. And just keeping the spine lifted, the shoulders back, and rocking into that beautiful stretch in the right hip. Now let's go ahead and move into our full Firelog. Let's move that bottom foot out a little bit and stack the right foot on top of the left knee. Just again, outside the thigh. If we have that bony part of the ankle sticking into the leg, it is really uncomfortable. And then this also helps keep our feet flexed and neutral through the ankles. Our knees have the ability to stay safe and to relax down toward the floor. So from here, with support, staying tall, lifted through the spine, maybe adding a forward fold, finding what feels so good, wherever that is, and then we just close the eyes and we breathe. We go in and discover the fire that we have. This is a wonderful posture to burn out impurities, impurities like negative thinking, impurities with negative emotions that keep repeating themselves, maybe jealousy, resentment, frustration, and just allowing ourselves to feel what comes up. A lot of my students really love to resist this pose. So if you find resistance within this posture, breathe into it, and let's see if we can let go of the resistance, even to resistance. Letting ourselves surrender into this posture. Surrender into the hips and feel what is there. Feel the emotions that may come up. Feel the physical sensations and breathe whatever is there. Finding that balance. Gently releasing this posture, extending the legs out, giving them a little bit of a shake. And then I'm going to show one more variation of this posture that can help to progress it. If you already are flat into this posture, you've laid yourself out, and even if you're not, a nice twisted Firelog can feel nice. So we're just going to come back to that first side, left leg on top. So finding our own perfect Firelog, sitting tall. If we're adding a forward fold, go ahead and add a forward fold where you can keep the back flat rather than rounding it all. If we're coming down and we're a little rounded, lift up so that you can find that beautiful extension, and then twist toward the top knee. So I'm going to twist toward my left leg, and I just like to pull in just a little here. I like to push my hand gently into my lower back, or we can even wrap it around to the thigh, and breathe. Now, if we're not quite into that forward fold version, just adding a gentle twist can feel delicious. And that's going to deepen the stretch in this outer hip again. So the top hip, the left hip on this side, should be stretching more. Maybe even exploring the different range of motion. All right, let's go ahead and gently reverse. So we're just going to switch those legs around, maybe give them a shake out in the middle. Left foot on bottom, right foot on top, sitting tall, breathing in, and breathing out, twisting. Adding forward folds if we choose. And as long as the spine stays neutral around that twist, we're good to go. If we ever start collapsing, that's when we want to find that reconnection to our spines again. Maybe wrapping around. And again, just noticing the difference. Being okay that we have differences. It is a myth that humans are symmetrical. We are not. So we just find out what those differences are, discover them, and then we work toward balance. That's it. We just work toward balance. There's nothing else we need to do besides finding that inner connection and working toward balancing it out. Gently unwinding, releasing those legs. Nice posture to practice after this pose is just our Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So we allow ourselves that nice long extension of the spine, melting down. I always love to add little wiggles. And then we just gently release whenever we're ready to let go of that. And I just thank you for coming and practicing with me today with Agni Stambhasana and Parivrtta, twisted Agni Stambhasana.